Notes to the Home Educator. Integrating God King into your curriculum is as simple as reading it aloud in the evening, a chapter or two per night. Later on, show your children where the story takes place on a timeline, around 710 to 702 BC, in comparison to other events you have studied in Egyptian, Greek, Roman, or Bible history. Read the biblical passages mentioned in the authors afterward. Compare a map of ancient Egypt and its surroundings with a modern globe. Locate Somalia, Ethiopia, Sudan, where ancient Nubia and Kush were located, and Iraq, Assyria. Look at a map of biblical Palestine and locate the kingdoms of Judah and Samaria. Fans of the classical or Charlotte Mason method will want to have the children retell sections of the story after it is read to them. This may be done orally or in writing, depending on the child's abilities or the homeschool's time constraints. Another approach is not so much to retell the story in detail as to summarize each chapter, trying to determine the main point or action that occurred. Although some reluctant student writers need to be encouraged to give detailed descriptions, others have the tendency to cover sheets of paper with needless and repetitive detail. This latter group must learn to reflect and then to determine what is the essence of the story they have heard. Students like this may be challenged to tell or write in a single sentence the most important event of each chapter. Depending on your student's age or interest, look up several sources that deal with this period of Egyptian history and see what is said about Taharka and Shabbataka. You will find that they conflict with this book. Again, see author's note, and probably with one another. Little is known about this time, and scholars have to guess from the small amount of information and legends that exist. Differing viewpoints often turn on the author's recognition or lack of recognition of the Bible as a source of historical information, yet Bible scholars also may differ. If archaeology fascinates your student, you may wish to go to the library to find books and magazines which tell about discoveries in the Middle East. Many of them present facts that strengthen our knowledge of the historical reliability of Scripture. God King may also be studied as literature. It is a historical novel. Although at its core is a real event, much of the story, in its small events, minor characters, and indeed the personalities of its major characters, is invented. You may wish to compare it in discussion with your student to other historical novels he has enjoyed. Some of these propose to shed light on a real event or person. Others dwell mainly on a fictional subplot with the historical event merely as background. A comparison essay along these lines on two historical novels may be a worthwhile project for an older student. If your child excels in creative writing, God King may inspire him to try his own hand at historical fiction. Find some other event and person in history about whom only a few bare facts are known. Have fun brainstorming possible situations that lead up to the event. What was this person's childhood like? Did he or she, like Taharka, wish at times to escape his role in life and be someone else? Were there any particular strengths or flaws in his personality that affected his future? Who were his best friends in times of trouble? Would you like to work an animal like Taharka's donkey into the story? One word of caution. Do not try to do all of the above-mentioned activities. A mother's runaway enthusiasm may become a student's overkill. Select one or two activities that seem to fit with your child's abilities. The main event should always be parent and child enjoying a wonderful, memorable story together. Doriasaki. Some other historical fiction related to Egyptian history. Shadowhawk, Mara, Daughter of the Nile, Scarab for Luck, The Lost Queen of Egypt, A Camel for a Throne.